Greetings, my friends. I hope this finds you well. I hope it finds you managing with some ease. And ease will be a theme that we will visit today. We are now in our fifth month of the pandemic, and it's challenging times. They're unprecedented times, excuse me. They're complicated times. They're hard for many people, and they're isolating for many people. They're also a time of love and a time of appreciation and a time of cherishing, really cherishing what we have because we see how things change in a moment. It's a time, as Zorba the Greek said, that we are living the whole human catastrophe. And it's like that. I was just reading an interview, actually. It was actually my son gave an interview, and it was on LinkedIn. It was about sales and how to approach it. And there was an interesting question when asked about returning during these times. And he used a phrase, and he said, I think it's a time of three words of easy does it. And I think that's true in finding the new normal. It's easy does it, not to rush to conclusions, not to rush back. And then I remembered that it's a phrase that my father-in-law, may he rest in peace, used all the time. He'd say, easy does it. And and then I thought about that, and I thought about that's really what we need is easy does it, or as the Buddhist would say, may I live with ease. May I live with ease with what comes my way. And it reminds me, I don't have to add on to the moment of whatever it is. Let's not catastrophize. Let's not make it worse, or let's not make a story around whatever it is that is happening. And there are stories, but we know in our own inner life things happen. It could feel quite uncomfortable. I know that for me. And here I am in a beautiful place. And when I leave the moment, right, there can be discomfort. When I get caught in my mind or my idea of something that may have happened, it's uncomfortable. It's the add on, right? And so there's that subtle layer that we not only hear in our mind, but I know I feel it in my body, a subtle layer of discomfort or anxiety, that energy, right? And it's not about turning away from it. In fact, it's about leaning into it, welcoming the whole catastrophe of life, not making it worse, and opening as well to the splendor and the beauty and the ease that is here right at the core of our being, right? The other day when I put out a short moment and I read from Pema Chodron, it was talking about bodhicitta. And bodhicitta is that awakened heart, that place that is there for us beyond all of the catastrophe of life, that's always here. It's a place where we can find the ease in our own being and hopefully how we approach our life. So today, I thought we would do some yin poses, restorative poses, and relaxation, and find the ease in it all. So if you haven't already, please gather as many props as you can. And you may not have traditional props, but if you have a bolster and blankets and blocks, fantastic. If you have extra pillows from your couch or your bed, fantastic. A towel for your neck or something to cover your eyes, even a shawl or a sock or an eye pillow, whatever you might have. And hopefully you have that right near you. We'll make them easy so that they're not too complicated for our time together, okay? Make it workable. I'm so glad you're with me today. just this time to connect, buoys my own heart. I often say when I'm done leading these classes, even though this may not be real time, I feel you all with me. And so it's real time in my own heart. And I always finishing these classes with a heart that feels full and more ease in my being of how I'm going to manage and live the rest of my day, reminding me of the infinite way that we're connected and the boundless love that is here. And I think that's where what you connect to too is love that is here. So if you would please now, we'll sit together for a little bit. So find a seat that feels steady and comfortable, sitting on a cushion or a blanket, maybe drawing the fleshy part of your buttocks back. Wobble a little bit back and forth to just feel the sitting bones and then settle down, right down through the sitting bones. You might even imagine your sitting bones extending roots right down to the earth. And then if you would just bring your hand right to the crown of your head and gently press right up into your touch and feel how the inner spine, the whole body grows long. And then see as you connect to the crown and the root, if you can imagine your breath flowing between the two, right into the central channel of your being. As the shoulders relax down, and you take your seat right here in the center of you. And as you do that now, check in with yourself, take inventory, meet yourself right where you are. In this physical body. It becomes interesting to meet ourselves, to meet the places that are tense, the places that are open, to be shown. Perhaps we're also shown where we can soften a little bit. If we don't know, if we're not aware of where there is holding, we don't know where we can soften. And notice how you feel into the breath. Noticing if it's long or short today. And moment to moment, things change. And touching into the quality of your mind and the heart. And recognize that awareness is aware of all of these changing states. And though they are realities, they are relative, they are changing. But we know ourselves through these experiences. But we also know ourselves as boundless, as love itself. And then by and by, let's take a few moments to take refuge. It reminds us here is a place, a safe place for you. And this is what reminds me, this is how I want to live my life. And so I remind myself from now until I fully awaken, I vow to take refuge in loving awareness, my true home. So we can just crack the window open a little and feel home. And I vow to take refuge in the path of loving awareness, the road that leads me home. Reminds me that I have a path, these beautiful teachings and practices that call me back. And I vow to take refuge in the Sangha, my teachers, my friends, my spiritual family, those who aspire to live awake and free. And sometimes I think of also these beings as those beings who have loved me into being. And so we call upon all of those beings who have inspired us and loved us. And we feel connected because we are. We're all made of the same stardust. Everyone wants to be happy. And then reminding myself that I want to live from the place of bodhicitta, the awakened heart, which means it's how I want to show up in the world. So from now until all suffering is experienced as liberation, I will bring benefit and happiness to all beings, omitting none. And so for a few moments, just feel how the breath naturally breathes you. And particularly pay attention to the exhale and follow the exhale from the beginning to the middle to the end. And the inhale will just come and then follow the next inhale. No struggle. And now let the focus on breath soften. And invite the phrase, it's one of our metta phrases or phrases of kindness, loving kindness. May I live with ease, or may I be at ease with what comes my way. Or just may I be at ease. May I be at ease. And then just allow the phrase to soften. And as you breathe, feel where you are now, the quality in this body and mind and heart. And now take a moment, please, and align with your motivation or your intention for a time together. And repeat it back to yourself as the words arise into your own heart. Mm. And if you'd like, join me. We'll chant the sound of Om. We'll chant it 3 times. So please take in a breath. Om. 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 And with hands in prayer at your own heart, Hari Om Shanti, peace. Jai Bhagwan, everyone. Namaste. Mm. And then just gently let yourself release from sitting a little bit, maybe a little gentle movement, just a little bit to release. Mm. And then coming back to your seat and take a look at how your legs are crossed and then uncross them and cross them the other way. Mm. And then settle back down and grow long. And bring your hands out to the side. And take a few long, steady breaths right here. Mm. And then as you inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, use your hands, just gently ease the energy back down to the earth. And again, inhaling, sweeping up. And as you exhale, just ground the energy back down. And do that 3 more times. Mm. And when you complete, pause for a moment, take a breath in between and feel. And gently open the eyes, and we'll move into our first yin pose. So you might like to have a blanket or a block near you. But if you would, please bring your soles of your feet together. Now, we typically do this in yin style with the feet away, but we could also do it with our feet drawn in. So this would just be a little experiment, and you'll feel it a little more on the inner thighs. So yogi's choice, either extended away or drawn in. And right there, many of us meet an edge. So remember, in yin poses, the muscles are passive. That means it's not that you don't feel them, but we're not engaging them unless there's an issue in the body, right? Muscularly passive. We meet our first edge, that place any more too much, any less than not enough. And this is where we really want to touch into an edge, but remember ease. And then we stay a while. So from right here, just gently tip the hips, and your hands might rest on the floor, and that might be enough, right? Now your spine can just be softly long, or if it feels appropriate, you can gently round the spine down, or just simply round the head down. And whatever you meet, to meet it with a kindness. Notice if you're pushing. Notice if you've gone too far, and is that your habit? Could you back off a little bit? Some of you might like a block on your feet. You can rest your hands. You can take it out in front or lower it down. So many options. Or simply resting there. So may I meet this moment with ease. And then go to any place that feels challenged and take a breath. And relax what you can. We begin to notice if the mind is turning away or making a story. And we can let the physical body invite us here and now. And so the breath, right, is our connection. The breath breathes the body. We notice where it breathes and where it's holding and perhaps stuck. And so for a few moments now, begin to invite the breath to grow long as is possible for you without struggle. And again, pay particular attention to the exhale and see if the exhale can grow a little longer. And then count the breath as you breathe in. 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, see where it goes. And as you exhale again, count it and see if it can go just a count or so longer. And do that for a few breaths. Just another few breaths, please. See if the body wants to ease in a little bit. May I be at ease with what comes my way. Last breath. May I be at ease. And then gently bring your hands to the earth and lift the torso back up. If you like, lean back into your hands and now stretch your legs out. You can even lean into your shoulders and take a few breaths there. If the body feels taxed, take your loving attention there. Notice how things change. Can we Stay at ease with whatever comes our way. Easy does it. And then bring your feet to standing and come onto your belly. We'll move into a yin sphinx and perhaps for you a seal. So come to resting on your belly. You might like to have a blanket near you. I like to put a blanket under my elbows, but that's up to you. And if you're on a hard floor, I recommend a thin blanket in the middle so that your hip bones and pubic bone are supported. And then please, once you're here, come up onto your elbows, and your elbows will just be a little bit in front of your shoulders. You can see that their shoulders width apart by taking hold around the elbow, the upper arm. Let your body sink in a little bit. And your hands can be in prayer out in front of you. They can lift and support the third eye or support the chin, or some people like to just take a block and rest the forehead. And then take a little time to scan in the body and see that the legs are just comfortable. You don't have to place them in a particular place or even that they're hip width apart. Just let them fall the way they fall, at ease. And then let awareness climb up the legs as they grow heavy. It's interesting to climb your awareness right into the body and see the added or extras that it holds on through living a life. It's not something to judge, it's what happens in living a life. So we take time to soften what's not needed. The lower back relaxes and gently let that little curve happen. The spine relaxes into the back. And the muscles along the spine relax. The shoulders might be gently raised because we're being held by the bones. If there's a chronic condition, just spread the collarbones a little bit to create stability. Let the head be supported either with your hands in some way or the block. And be here as you breathe right into the soft belly, gathering and storing right here, finding an ease of being. Gathering and storing. If you need less, you slide your elbows out in front, a little more to lower it. If you want more, you can bring your hands out to the edge of your mat, turn them out, and just lengthen the arms. A little seal pose. May I be at ease with what comes my way. Take a few more long, steady breaths, gathering and storing, and allowing for ease right where you are amidst whatever is here. To release, spread the elbows, let the torso lower down. You like to take one hand on top of the other and rest the forehead. If the body feels taxed in any way, take your breath and awareness there. Take your love there. And know that wherever you bring awareness, energy goes, prana goes, right? We have a great capacity for healing. And then to release, bring your hands next to your chest, press back into child. Bring your buttocks back to your heels. Take a few breaths there. And then please gently press yourself back up. And feel the effect of these two yin poses of working with breath and inviting a sense of ease with whatever arises. Right. We'll move into a few restorative poses. So a little different. While yin practice is restorative in its nature, it's restoring, we play with the edge. Whereas here in restorative, we're looking for the yum. Okay? So we'll play with that. And we're going to do them in an easy way without too many props for some of us. So if you have a bolster, grab your bolster and lay at the length of your mat. Okay? We're going to do a modified Supta Baddha Konasana or reclining bound angle. We're not going to bind with our legs. So if you have, I brought some little pillows from one of my sofas, or if you have two blankets, typically would be folding a lot of blankets, but you might like to just take another blanket at the top for your head, right? And just have one pillow on either side for your legs. If you don't have a bolster, it's not a problem. I often take blankets and fold them like that and then stack them. Or if I have blocks, put two blocks under and stack either your pillows or your blankets. So take a moment and create your configuration with whatever you have. And then please come to sit in front of your bolster or whatever it is you have. And bring that towards the edge of your sacrum. So you're not sitting on whatever it is that's there, but you're right at the edge so it supports that. And bring the soles of your feet together. And you can take a pillow and place it not so much under the knee, but under the thigh so that supports the knee, right? And then slowly, slowly have there you go. Have something to cover your eyes. And then just slowly lower yourself down. Take that blanket and fold it so it's right under the neck. Now, if you had something to support the arms, that's great. But otherwise, just let the elbows bend. And your hands might find those pillows at the belly. And you can take your shawl or your eye pillow or something to cover your eyes. Now, if you need support in the lower back, just lift the buttocks and lengthen the lower back. And then relax the buttocks back down. Take a big breath in. Hold it. And then exhale with a little sigh. And let yourself settle into the props. Allow yourself to be held by the props. Be held by life, really, so that you can find the ease of being right now. And then just scan around in your body. You might even begin right in the muscles of your face. And see if there's any unnecessary tension there. Can the eyes soften? Is there tension in the forehead? All the ways we express ourselves in this life, respond, react, without really being aware. So if we pay attention, we can feel into those subtle and not so subtle ways that we hold on. Hmm. Perhaps the tongue can relax a little bit and the jaw. And then continue to scan around and down. Relax what you can. And again, as we did in the yin practice, let the breath grow long and silky smooth without struggle. Find the ease of breath. Here we are, the front body open, perhaps even feeling vulnerable, sort of a metaphor for our life. Can we meet that sense of whatever is here with a kindness, with love? May I feel safe and content and at ease with whatever comes my way. Hmm. In a few moments, let your awareness follow the bell as you come back to feeling in the body. To release from the pose, first just remove any eye covering you have, and the light will begin to come in through the eyes and you can begin to flutter the eyes open and just allow yourself to take in the world through your eyes. Mm. Mm. And then to release, bring one hand behind your head and the other to the ground. Gently lift yourself back up. And lengthen the legs out and pause there for a moment. Hmm. Hmm. And notice how you feel. And then open the eyes. And we'll use that setup once again. So whether it's a bolster or blanket, and you might like it. We're going to do a restorative twist. I like to build mine up just a little bit so you notice if you need a little higher or not. And you might like to have either a pillow or blanket at the top as we did before. So begin by sitting at the edge of your prop, right? So it's off to the side. And my legs are bent, and they're both bent in the same direction, and my top leg is on the instep of my bottom. So I'm starting with my left hip on the bolster, and my knees are towards the left. And then take your hands on either side of the bolster or whatever it is. Lift this hip and shift it back. And then you begin to feel your torso twist a little bit. And then with both hands on either side, lengthen the torso, rotate a little to the left, and then walk yourself forward. Lift and rotate a little bit. And you can begin with your head facing towards the right. And then relax the hands alongside. Perhaps the forearms rest on the earth, or even the hands might even hold the bolster. And see if your body can soften down here. As space opens, you might lengthen and twist a little more. And some of you might even turn your head in the opposite direction. And by just simply putting ourselves in these poses, things are happening, just as they do in the yin practice. But here, scan around and relax. Find the ease wherever you are. Invite the breath to be smooth and silky. Let your body be your entrance into the moment. Thoughts will come, things come, sounds come, everything comes and goes. That's really the key, that in the field of awareness that is wide open like the great blue sky, everything comes and goes. Clouds come, birds fly, everything comes and goes. But there's nothing we have to grab onto. That's the extra. So easy does it. Breathe and relax. This moment's just for you. May you be at ease. May your heart be open. May you meet yourself with a kindness. Mm. As you take a breath, invite space between the shoulder blades behind the back of the heart. As the heart softens down. A few more breaths. Mm. Mm. So to begin to release, if your head is twisted in the opposite direction from the knees, begin by untwisting from the neck. Turn the head towards the knees. And with your hands alongside, press into the hands and walk the torso back up. And when you come up to sitting, pause for a moment and feel what's happening. Perhaps a little more space inside you. And then to go to the other side, I particularly like to just flip my knees around, right? And so now I'll face you though. Your right hip is facing your bolster. Your knees are to your right. And just as we did before, your hands on either side, lift and shift that right hip back now. Lengthen and twist as you come over your bolster or blanket. Begin with the head facing in the direction of the knees. The arms down by the side, and just see if you can create some space in the back as you rest here. All those inner organs being massaged. Energy being moved and released. Mm. So right here, find the ease for yourself. Breathe and relax. If over time the body wants a little more, you just lengthen a little and ease into your twist. And perhaps even the head begins to twist, but don't force it. Let it be easy. You don't have to turn the head. Sometimes I even cushion my head a little bit with a pillow or another blanket. And as you breathe, see if you can feel the whole body breathe. You might become more aware of the back body here. But feel how the body expands in all directions, front and back, sides. How as you breathe, there's sometimes a little subtle movement in the arms, even here resting. You're being breathed. Life is happening. And everything's okay just as it is. So to release, begin by turning your head, if it's not, in the direction of your knees. Pause there for a moment. And again, bring your hands on either side of your configuration and press down and rise back up to sitting. And pause there for a moment. And for our last pose before we take rest, take whatever it is that you have and sit in front of it. So if it's a bolster, bring it right behind your sacral area. If it's two blankets, do the same, or a block and blanket. And then press up and just come to sit at the edge. So when you lower down, your lower back is resting there and supported. Let your sacrum feel supported there. And then one by one, bring one leg in and then the other. And maybe you just stay there. If it supports you, let your legs lengthen, but in such a way that maybe there's a little bend in the knees and the legs just kind of dangle into their sockets. The neck is long and the shoulders are soft. All the ways we stand on this earth and we let the energy flow back. So stay here for moments. Scan around. Just mindful of this body, this breath, this heart. Remember, awareness is aware of whatsoever arises, but it can fall back right from where it came. Just like the waves on the ocean, everything arises and falls back. Drop into the ease of being, the ocean of your being. A few more moments. To release, begin, if you haven't already, bend your knees. And then bring one foot to the earth and then the other. Pause there for a moment. And then you can come right up onto the balls of your feet so you can press into them and lift your hips. And whatever you have, slide it down. And if you can, under your legs. And we'll prepare for rest. Now you have that prop or any blanket. Now if you'd like also, if you have blocks, you can place them under your heels. You can take a little blanket under your head, something covering your eyes. And then allow the body to let go down to the earth and be held. If you have a little covering for yourself, I recommend it. What do you need to do so you can feel the most at ease right now? And then let the body splay out a little bit. Let your legs part slightly and the arms by your side. The palms can be up or down. They can even rest on your belly. And I know we've spent this time together looking and for the ease of being. It's really right there. There's nothing we have to look for. We just turn to it. Ease is right here. May I be at ease. Here, may you rest. As the back body softens to the earth, held by that beautiful, loving energy. And as you breathe, all the inner organs soften. Front body relaxes down. All expression falls from the face. There's really nothing to do now. Nowhere to go. Everything is okay, just as it is. And so are you. So as you hear the sounds of the bell, just let that be a gentle invitation back to feeling your body resting on the earth. Inviting the breath to deepen and feeling how the body can gently move in a most organic way. And then do invite some movement so the body begins to wake up and feel refreshed and renewed. And then gradually draw your knees in and roll to one side. And please press your hands into the earth and rise up to sitting. Come to sit at the edge of your blanket or your cushion. Take a few moments. The eyes can be gently open as you gaze around, or softly closed. But do draw your attention inward to feel yourself now. Meet yourself fully right now. And feel the gift of your practice, your presence, intention. Take a few moments and reflect on today's practice of ease and yin yoga, restorative yoga. Notice what you become aware of, any insights. And then please go in to that place that is awake, that heart as wide as the world, awake and wise. And from here, listen to what it has to tell you when you ask, given all that's happened here in my life, what is the knowing for me today? And then listen to this wise and loving message just for you. And then if a word or a phrase bubbles up, repeat it to yourself or write it down if you have your journal nearby. Mm. And then if you're writing, put your pen down and everyone just repeat your wisdom to your own heart. And then please let's take a breath and extend that wisdom and insight and love out to everyone and everything, everywhere. And in this way, may we dedicate the merit of our practice to the awakening of all hearts. May all beings everywhere know happiness and the root of happiness. May all awaken to their own true nature, be free of suffering and the root of suffering. May all beings live with ease, omitting none. And if you'd like, join me. We'll chant our mantra. We'll chant Om, and then Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 3 times, and end with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Taking a breath. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings everywhere know peace and joy, love and light. May all beings live with ease. Mm. And bringing your hands to prayer and bowing to your own heart and each other. Jai Bhagwan and Namaste. May you walk this day with ease. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to when we see each other next. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Blessings to you.